So this is not over. And honestly, it's just beginning. And this is turning into a massive concern, especially amongst governors and mayors here in the United States, because now U.S. states feel threatened by President Biden again. And they say President Biden is a huge concern for their residents. I want to explain what's going on because this is highly concerning, but at the same time, you may understand. So let me break this down. Make sure you watch this entire video, and also feel free to share this video with your friends, family, and loved ones over on Facebook so they too know exactly what is going on. But all I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button, and let's begin. So first off, why are some of our states concerned and threatened by the Biden administration? And again, this is happening multiple times. It's happened over and over and over. And here's part of the reason why. Just look at this and I'll explain. It says the Supreme Court allows Border Patrol agents to remove razor wire Texas installed at Mexico border. It says the court weighed in on a dispute between the Biden administration and Republican Governor Greg Abbott, who installed the wire in an effort to prevent illegal border crossings. So, what just happened? Well, here's the concern. The concern that state governors have is that, according to many, it says, many governors worry that they will not be allowed to protect their own state residents unless their motives align with the current administration. That's pretty much what happened. Because if this was a different administration, for instance, a Republican administration, a Republican or former President Donald Trump would likely have agreed with what the governor of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott, did, because he lined the border with razor wire to prevent illegal immigrants from entering into Texas. Not necessarily the United States, just protecting Texas. He is the governor of Texas. Now, here's the concern. This is just beginning, because here's what Governor Greg Abbott had to say on Twitter, or X, just yesterday. He says, this is not over. Texas's razor wire is an effective deterrent to the illegal crossings Biden encourages. I will continue to defend Texas's constitutional authority to secure the border and prevent the Biden admin from destroying our property. So he has vowed to take on the Biden administration and the United States to protect Texas. Now, this is the concern. Many state governors and mayors are concerned that they do not have the ability to protect their residents. If the Biden administration says, no, we are going to allow people into the United States, but then certain states say, no, we can't allow that because we do not have the resources, yet you are not giving us additional funding. Well, who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? That's a concern. We do not have a lot of clear ideas moving forward as to how this is going to unfold. And this is turning into a problem. Now, the one thing I can tell you though, and this is the good news, is that as of right now, what we are hearing is that there is a bill that's getting closer. Okay? Here's what we know as of right now. According to reports from Fox News and many other outlets, they're saying this border deal price tag will likely cost more than the $14 billion that the Biden administration originally outlined. It says, but GOP lawmakers grow restless to see bill text. Everybody wants to see the bill. The bill has yet to be created. They're still discussing it, negotiating this, but it could take a little while. Here's what I can tell you. Texas and Governor Greg Abbott do not have the patience to wait for the Biden administration to do something to protect the entire United States or just Texas itself. And here's one of the reasons why. According to reports over this past weekend, we kept hearing that according to multiple congressional aides, that the Biden administration, their plan is not to eliminate all illegal immigration into the United States. Their plan is to use Mexico as a deterrent, similar to the way that Texas used razor wire. So what the Biden administration was asking Mexico to do is to try to get people away from the southern border. Try to send people back to their home countries. Put them on buses and planes and send them back. Take them back down to the Mexico southern border. So now they have an even longer trek up to the United States. Don't put bathrooms and food vendors near the US border, because that's just going to allow people to stay. And then Mexico, if they can get more funding, can they keep people in Mexico? Can they spread them around Mexico? The answer is yes. But is Mexico willing to do that? Well, this is where I talked about this yesterday. We don't know what the Biden administration promised Mexico, because Mexican officials have said that they're trying to do different things to slow down the immigration into the United States. But why would they do that? Because that's keeping people in Mexico. And if Mexico's already having limited resources, it really doesn't make sense unless the Biden administration decided to provide something in some type of backroom deal. So the concern right now, though, is that U.S. states feel threatened that they cannot protect their residents. They can't provide their residents with additional benefits, because what if it conflicts with what the Biden administration is doing, or whatever administration is in the Oval Office? That's a concern, because right now the states that are having issues with the current the current administration and their ideas, right? Their agenda. Well, the current administration, the Democratic administration. But if Republicans win back the presidency, does Texas still have this issue? No, Texas will not have this issue, because a Republican president would stop this type of illegal immigration. Because we now know that there's between 4,000 and 6,000 people entering into the United States every single day. This is a large decrease compared to where we were seeing between 10,000 and 12,000 people enter the United States every single day. Just in December of 2023, more than 300,000 illegal immigrants entered into the United States. And those are only the people that we were able to see and count. There were still many that were unaccounted for. So it's a troubling situation that we're in, but the real concern right now, and something that, again, has me a little bit concerned, I live in Washington State. Now, do people try to bypass the United States, go right into Canada, and then come to the United States from the Canadian side? Yeah, we see it from Chinese nationals all the time. People from China go into Canada and then come into the United States. They don't go to Mexico and come into the United States. And so, as somebody that lives in a one of the border states, how are things going to go? What are we going to see? Because again, our governor is a Democratic governor. So we're going to see what happens moving forward. All I can tell you is these states, their governors and many city mayors are concerned with how can they govern, how can they fix the state and provide for the residents if their ideas and their agenda doesn't align with the current administration. Again, whether it's a Democratic administration or a Republican, what happens then? Are we going to see the justices get involved, and the Supreme Court have to go and battle it out there? Well, we could. That could be the new normal moving forward. So that's kind of where we're at this time. But as always, that is what we know as of today. So again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.